had completely forgotten about those boxes. They were stacked at the back of the hallway closet, behind old blankets, sealed with yellow tape, and my name written in pen. Things from a move I made with my parents years ago. Things I'd pushed into a corner of my life and never touched again. I was home alone. My parents were traveling, and the silence made it easier to go through old stuff without rushing. At first, it was normal. Broken toys, school notebooks, old magazines, until I found a small cloth pouch, tightly closed. Inside were several blue marbles. Too blue, too shiny. I stood there, trying to remember. I never liked marbles. I never played with them. Still, I figured they might have gotten mixed in with someone else's things during the move. No big deal. I kept digging. I found objects that didn't fit me at all. A small metal toy car, a keychain with a strange symbol, a worn children's bracelet. None of it triggered any memories, but it was still easy enough to ignore, until I found the first photo. It was me as a child, about 7 or 8 years old, sitting on the floor of a porch I didn't recognize, smiling, with the blue marbles spread out in front of me. It wasn't someone who looked like me. It was me, my face, my crooked smile, my hair exactly the way it was back then. But that scene, I didn't remember living it. I flipped the photo over, looking for a note. Nothing. The unease turned into a knot in my stomach. In the same box, I found more photos. One showed me as a teenager, hugging a girl I'd never seen in my life. She was laughing, leaning into me like we were close. The place looked like a park I didn't recognize, and I had a small cut on my eyebrow. I touched my eyebrow now, out of reflex. Nothing. I kept going. Me in places I'd never been, with people I didn't know, in situations that weren't part of my life. They weren't blurry or strange images. They were normal photos. Happy photos. Photos of a life that wasn't mine. I tried to convince myself I'd just forgotten. That memory fails sometimes, but no one forgets that much. I went down to the garage with the photos in my hands. Nervous, but more than that, curious. What were those pictures? That's where I found more boxes. In one of them, a photo made me sit down on the floor. It showed me as an adult, the way I am now. I was holding hands with a woman I didn't recognize. She was looking at me with a special intensity, and I was looking at her like she was everything. My chest tightened for no clear reason. I gathered all the photos. I wanted to show them to my parents when they got back. How could photos of things I never lived be there? Maybe they could help me make sense of it. I laid everything out on the kitchen table and tried to sleep. I woke up to a footstep. Not loud. Careful. Another step. Now in the hallway. I sat up in bed, my heart racing. The house was locked. I was sure of it. My parents were gone. I heard the sound of glass clinking in the kitchen. I got up slowly, grabbed the first thing I found, a cheap katana I'd bought online, and went into the hallway. The house was dark, lit only by street light coming through the window. Before I could see anything, a glass cup flew toward me. I threw myself to the side on instinct. The glass shattered against the wall behind me. "Who's there?" I yelled. Silence. Another glass was thrown. Closer this time. I backed away, my whole body shaking. I couldn't see anyone, but I felt it, the clear sensation of not being alone. The footsteps returned. Slow, moving from the kitchen to the living room, from the living room to the hallway. Whoever was there was running through the house, like they were looking for something. My thoughts went straight to the photos. I realized then that this had started after I found them. I ran to my room, grabbed my car keys, and left the house without thinking. I banged on my neighbor friend's gate until he opened it. We called the police. When we went back inside, nothing made sense. No broken doors, no forced windows, just shattered glass on the floor from the cups that had been thrown at me. I went into the kitchen. The table was empty. The photos were gone. "Is anything missing?" the officer asked. I couldn't explain it. I just shook my head. The next day, I searched everything. Drawers, boxes, trash. Nothing. The only things that disappeared were photos. Since then, one question won't leave me alone. If those images were of another me, maybe that other me came to take them back. I don't know if it was another version of myself. I don't know if it was someone I could have been if I'd made different choices. I only know that since that night, my thoughts always return to those photos. If somehow I had them here, could another version of me have mine? And how did he come here to get them? You know what? Maybe it's better not to know. Your support keeps the stories coming. Like and subscribe. I remember the smell before anything else. It wasn't the usual mall smell. Expensive perfume mixed with food and air conditioning. It was heavier, like damp dust trapped in an enclosed space. Not quite rotten, but unsettling, as if the air itself had been used too many times. At the time, I didn't question it. I just felt it. We were on vacation, with no obligations at all. We went to the mall to kill time, eat junk food, laugh at stupid things, wander around aimlessly. An ordinary day, the kind that passes quickly and leaves no mark. I got up from the table in the food court to go to the bathroom. My friends kept laughing, scrolling through their phones, and I just said I'd be right back. The hallway was normal. Shiny floors, white lights, people walking by. I went into the bathroom. Everything as usual. Empty stalls, a large mirror, the distant noise of the mall outside. Nothing happened in there. When I walked out, it felt like someone had turned the volume of the world down. The hallway looked the same, but wrong. The air felt colder, not pleasant cold, and the sound seemed distant, muffled, like something was covering my ears. I took a few steps, expecting the feeling to pass. It didn't. There were fewer people, not just a small crowd missing, as if an entire layer of the place had been removed. The stores were still there, but something about them didn't fit. I passed a storefront and had the strange sensation of recognizing everything without being able to point out exactly what was different. I kept walking, looking for the food court. The tables were out of place, not gone, just arranged in a way that didn't match my memory from minutes earlier. The space felt reorganized according to a similar but imperfect logic. That's when I noticed the store names. One of them had a name almost identical to the original, just one letter different. Too small to be a coincidence. Too big to be my mistake. I pulled out my phone. No signal. No network. No Wi-Fi. I looked around for someone using their phone, like everyone does in a mall. I didn't see anyone. People walked by with empty hands, or stood still, staring at dark storefronts. No lit screens. No electronic sounds. My stomach dropped. I reached the spot where our table should have been. The table was different. In its place was another set of darker tables and a kiosk I didn't remember. The area was recognizable, but it didn't match what I had just left behind. That's when I felt the stares. A man standing near a column was watching me. He didn't look away when I met his gaze. He didn't pretend disinterest. He just stared, with an expression that was too neutral. A woman a few meters behind him was watching me too. She was gripping a paper bag tightly, her fingers white. When I took a step toward them, neither of them reacted. "Excuse me," I said, my voice coming out weaker than I expected. "Do you know where the food court is?" They kept staring. It wasn't just ignoring me. They were refusing to respond. More people began to stop. They didn't come closer, but they positioned themselves so I was always in view. It was like being at the center of something that didn't need to approach to apply pressure. The air grew heavy for real. Breathing took effort, as if the oxygen had been diluted. My throat burned, and I felt the beginnings of panic rising. I tried talking to another guy, younger, wearing a backpack. "Hey, do you know if there's any signal here?" He looked at me. When I got closer, he lowered his head slightly, as if he'd received a silent warning, and stepped away. I walked around the column he had passed behind. He was gone. There was no way he could have gone anywhere else. My heart started racing. That's when I began to notice the signs. Some pointed in the wrong directions. The bathroom symbol looked slightly distorted. Everything was almost right, but never completely. I needed something fixed. Something real. The bathroom. The idea came too clearly to ignore. I had entered this place through the bathroom. If there was an exit, it would be there. I started walking faster. I didn't run, but fear no longer fit in my chest. The corridors felt longer than they should have been. Curves appeared where there had once been straight lines. I passed a display of mannequins. The clothes were normal. The faces weren't. They were too smooth, lacking detail, like someone had erased whatever makes a face look human. The silence was the worst part. Not absolute silence, but a dead sound. No conversation, no laughter, no life. When I saw the bathroom sign, I felt almost physical relief. I went in quickly and locked myself in a stall. I pressed my forehead against the cold wall, trying to breathe. My hands were shaking. I grabbed my phone out of reflex, and it rang. The sound made me choke in shock. I answered immediately. "Where are you?" My friend's voice came through, panicked. "We've been looking for you for hours." "Hours?" I repeated, confused. "I just went to the bathroom." "You disappeared. We went in there, called your name, checked every stall. You weren't here." My body went cold. "I'm here now," I said, almost whispering. "Come out, now. We're at the door." I unlocked the stall and stepped out. The bathroom was normal. I walked into the hallway. The mall was crowded. Loud. Music playing. The smell of food. People walking, laughing, talking on their phones. My friends were there, pale, shaken, hugging me like I'd come back from somewhere very far away. They said I had gone to the bathroom and vanished. That security helped look for me. That the cameras never recorded me leaving. For me, it had been minutes. As they talked, I could still feel the heavy air lodged deep in my chest, as if I hadn't fully left that other place. Before we left, I looked back. For a second, I saw a man standing near a column, staring at me. The same empty look. I blinked. He vanished into the crowd. I remember that night as if it were two nights happening at the same time. The first was normal, a beach house, 5 friends, too much beer, easy laughter, and that youthful feeling that the world is elastic, that nothing really has consequences. The second is the one that stayed with me. The night that began when everyone went to sleep. The game had been Rafa's idea. One of those things someone brings up in the middle of drinking just to see who plays along. "Let's talk to our future selves," he said, laughing. "Like, ask if everything turned out okay." We were in the living room, music low, bottles on the table, yellow light, and the sound of the sea drifting in through the window like constant static. I'm not mystical, but I'm also not arrogant enough to think the world is only what I understand. Still, I went along with the joke. We did everything mockingly. Stupid questions, laughing over each other. "Hey, future me, which team's going to win? Am I going to get rich? Am I going to get married?" It was people pretending to play with something dangerous, without admitting it. As the early morning came, one by one people disappeared into their rooms. The house filled with small sounds, footsteps in the hallway, doors closing, one last muffled laugh, the sound of someone showering. Then silence. I lay down trying to sleep, but the alcohol left me stuck halfway. Heavy body, alert mind. I turned from side to side, listening to the ocean. The house was old and made its usual noises, wood expanding, wind moving something outside, all within what I considered normal. Until I got up to get some water. The kitchen was dark, lit only by faint streetlight through the window. I grabbed a glass, filled it, drank slowly. That late night taste, dry throat, uneasy stomach, pounding head. I should have gone back to bed. I opened the fridge and saw a bottle that was still there. I don't remember what it was. I just remember thinking, one more sip and I'll pass out. I took the bottle and went to the porch. The porch faced the sea. The moon was high, painting the water with a silver path. It's beautiful in a way that almost makes you angry, like the world is at peace just to contrast with the mess inside you. I sat in a plastic chair and stared at the slow movement of the waves. The breeze was cold, and I pulled on the jacket draped over the chair. That's when I noticed someone sitting beside me. I didn't look right away. I assumed it was one of the guys, who also couldn't sleep. I casually commented, without thinking much about it, "I'm only going back to the city at the end of the week." I took a sip. "You guys who are brave enough to leave tomorrow, I want to stay longer." The person next to me didn't answer. Not a yeah, not a laugh, nothing. The silence was so dry it annoyed me. I turned my head, ready to make a joke. and at that exact moment, a hand grabbed my shoulder. It wasn't a friendly touch. It was firm, heavy, the kind that makes you think you've really messed up. A voice spoke close to me, low, controlled, and still full of anger. "You're leaving tomorrow." My body froze, because that voice was mine, not similar. Mine, the same rhythm, the same tone I recognize in recordings, only rougher, like it had been worn down by use. I turned my head, and I saw myself. Not a blur, not a shadow. A man sitting there in the darkness of the porch, with my face. Same nose, same mouth, same eyebrows. Even the way he tilted his head was mine, but his skin was red. Red in a way that didn't look like sunburn. It looked inflamed from the inside, like the blood was too close to the surface. And his eyes were sunken, locked onto me with a fury I had never seen on my own face. His hand was still gripping my shoulder. I felt the pressure down to the bone. "What the hell is this?" I tried to say, but the words came out broken. He leaned in slightly, like he was tired of repeating something I hadn't understood the first time. And he said it again, almost growling. "Leave. Tomorrow." That's when fear truly set in. I didn't think ghost, or hallucination, or prank. I thought only one thing, raw and instinctive. This should not be here. I stood up so fast the chair scraped loudly across the floor. The glass fell and shattered, the sound of breaking glass too loud in the silence. I stumbled backward, tripped over the bottle, almost fell. He didn't stand. He just stared at me, motionless, like he already knew exactly what I was going to do. Like this had already happened. I ran. I burst into the house, slapped the wall looking for the light switch, turned on the hallway light, and started waking the others, my voice shaking, trying to sound annoyed, not terrified. No one understood. One said I was dreaming. Another laughed, thinking I was messing with them. Even I started to doubt myself, because that's how the mind protects itself. I went back to the porch with two of them. There was no one there, just the sea, the moon, and the shards of glass on the floor. The rest of the night was a dirty vigil. I tried to sleep, but every time I closed my eyes, I saw my red-faced self staring back at me. When the sun came up, my head was heavy, and there was an uncomfortable certainty in my chest. I didn't want to stay another day. That bad feeling from the night before didn't fade. By late morning, I said I was leaving. Half the group decided to come back with me, out of exhaustion, obligations, or hangovers. The others stayed behind, joking, saying I was afraid of the sea, or afraid of ghosts. I laughed along. It was easier than insisting. I got home in the late afternoon, showered, tried to eat something, sat on the couch with that strange tightness still in my chest. My phone rang. It was one of the guys. I didn't take it seriously at first. I thought they were messing with me. The beach house had caught fire. A gas leak. The ones who stayed were injured. I won't go into details. I don't like remembering it either, but enough to make my stomach turn. I stared at the wall, phone in my hand, as the sentence echoed in my head like it had been engraved there. "You're leaving tomorrow." I wanted to believe it was coincidence, that I'd just been paranoid and by luck left, that the alcohol had made me dream. But there's one detail I've never been able to swallow. The strength of that hand on my shoulder. The way he looked at me. Not like a stranger, but like someone who had already lived through it. Sometimes I wonder if it really was me, just coming from a place where I didn't leave. A place where I stayed and paid the price. And if that's true, then it wasn't a gentle warning. It was urgency. Not hatred, but desperation. He knew I would only listen if he acted that way.